yeah, I'm on your website, and I was going to do looking at some videos and stuff, but none of them are working.
Well, damn. We went out of business yesterday, completely bankrupt, and just
You
decided
did
to.
not. You're making so much money. I just talked to Patrick. I talked to Patrick, and he gave you all that money, and then he quit doing it for some reason.
You know, every once in a while that happens, and I really don't understand it because the one thing I've learned over 15 years and really over my entire career is that the only way to lose in this particular business is to stop bidding.
Exactly. I'm experiencing that. If you stop bidding, you're not going to make money.
Yeah.
So I did get a chance to talk with Patrick, and we went out to lunch, and the stress got to him of trying to find a subcontractor that will perform. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I said, well, why didn't you call? Why didn't you call me, or why didn't you call Sean? Well, and what I'm seeing is a lot of these people have 3, 4 other things going on, and they can't fully focus their time on it. And his comment was, yeah, if you gotta, it's the only thing you do if you want to be in this kind of federal government construction is that's the only thing you do. You don't have a plumbing business. You don't. I mean, I don't know. What's your experience with that from your guys?
My experience is all over the place, and the best way that I can explain it is that if you had to go into a room of 30 people and teach something for 2 hours, what would you teach, you, Kevin Willett?
I would teach what you guys have because I
Well,
it's
no, I
awesome.
mean, it could be hunting, it could be fishing. Like, what are you a subject matter expert at?
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'm hoping I'm having government contracting.
Okay, government contracting. So for 2 hours, you're going to go into a room and you're going to teach. Now, can you imagine that there might be, of the 30 people in the room, 5 people sitting in the front row going, oh, yeah, I knew that. Uh huh. Yep. Nope. Nothing new there. Of course. That works every time. Like, can you imagine there'd be 5 know-it-alls?
Yes.
Can you imagine that the opposite would be true? That there'd be 5 people in the room that would be sitting there going, what the hell is he talking about? That makes
Yeah.
absolutely no. What? No way. Come on.
What's
Okay,
a bond?
that's right. But then there might also be 20 people in the room that are sitting there going, wow, I never considered that. Oh, that I could implement that. Oh, that's interesting. Like there would be a majority of the people would be there to learn and would learn for that 2 hours. Can you imagine that
Yeah.
there would be that kind of spread throughout the room?
Yes.
I find that that same scenario happens across the board with people that come into my class. And I can never pick ahead of time which ones are going to do it or which ones are not. I mean,
Uh,
look, use you as an example. When you first came in, you didn't know what the hell was going on. You worked for somebody else who expressed some interest, and okay, somehow your I believe button was hit, but you didn't know. Okay?
yeah.
I mean, flash
Yep.
forward, it's been at least 10 years, and look back at
Yes.
yourself 10 years ago and go, geez, if that guy would have known, whatever.
Right.
I can never, all I know for sure is that the guys, first of all, I'm never dealing with absolute dummies. I mean, sometimes I use the word dummy, but I don't mean that like as a personal, because one, it's expensive to get into this business. Two, you got to take time away from whatever you're really doing to make money in order to focus some time on this thing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, for the most part, stupid people aren't, attempting this.
Right.
So then it just becomes a matter of will, because if you don't have the will to push this thing forward, then it's just never going to happen. And nobody can ever detect willpower. It comes from within.
Yeah. And it grows over time or changes over time, I should say. You know, once you get it started and you get the ball rolling, maybe your willpower increases or,
But,
hey,
but
that's
that's why I say, like Lamar is the perfect example. I know I got you on the phone with him one time, or at least I had some kind of phone call where, but anyway, Lamar was a perfect example. That guy had absolutely no business getting into the federal government construction market, and I tried to talk him out of it because I was like, dude, what I don't want to have happen is you call me up 6 months from now and going, I haven't gotten anything, and it's too hard, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden I'm the asshole.
yeah,
I literally tried, and he basically told me that God told him that this was his path in life, and I was like, okay, here we go,
yeah.
and then, dude, the guy's killing it.
Huh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just
That,
willpower. He calls and he asks, you know, I don't even want to say intelligent questions. He just asks reasonable questions that anybody should be asking over time. And some people tell me that, hey, you're bothering. I don't want to call you because I'll be bothering you. And I'm like, you are never bothering me.
yeah.
Man, I'm here to help. But anyway, so what are you trying to accomplish that I'm getting in the way of today?
Well, I got my buddy, my cousin here with me, Paul Dunn, and he's into. He's got a business called Smartyard. He's into robotic mowers,
Man,
and
I love that.
I'm kind of looking into like, hey, all these agencies have lawns someplace that have lawn care services, and I want to get into that market. I was going to show him a couple videos of what you guys do.
I pulled up on YouTube, so we can find all the stuff on YouTube.
Oh, he pulled you up and already looked at you.
I think your website's just referencing YouTube, correct?
The videos that I post on the website are generally speaking hosted on YouTube. They could also be hosted on another website called Wistia. So it depends on things that I've got people that work for me that make those kinds of decisions. But basically,
He's also an IT. He's been in IT for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
oh,
Hey, Sean, it's really nice to meet you, and I've heard so much about you. Kevin talks you guys up so much, but I just got my Sam login, and Kevin's just kind of helping me try to get a couple bids out and get started in the business. And
sure.
What's interesting about the whole thing is that, from what I can tell so far in the couple opportunities I've seen, is that the government's not specifically asking for robotic mowing services.
That's right.
But what I'm hoping we can do is promote it. It's green. It's the fertilization's a lot better. Those type of things, and we'll still have to subcontract with local landscapers to do all the other things. But we do have to use like their power because we're gonna have a docking station out on site and stuff. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of resistance to this or not, but we're going to give it a shot.
Well, and I wouldn't blame you for, quote, giving it a shot. Let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room and then make a decision. So
okay.
The 800-pound gorilla in the room is that basically there's, two rules pop to the top of my head. Number one, which I talk about in the workshop, is don't ever fucking lie to the federal government. They will spend 10 times the amount of money coming after you than what you think you may have made by telling a lie.
Sure.
But if you can get past rule number one, rule number two is we don't tell the government how to spend their money. And you have fallen squarely into telling the government how to spend their money.
Okay.
Now, it's not that they can't be swayed over time.
Yep.
So, as an example, there's something called the GSA schedule. And it's a process to get your product on the GSA schedule. And there's a lot of rules and regulations associated with being on the GSA schedule. It just stands for General Services Administration.
Okay.
I don't talk about GSA a whole lot, so I'm actually looking forward to having this part of the conversation. What the GSA schedule is really good for is selling paper or selling coffee or selling compressors to air conditioners, parts.
Problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason it's really good is because if something has been negotiated by the GSA, a product or even a service, and made it into the quote GSA schedule, then anybody within the federal government can go onto the GSA schedule and order something, even if they're not a procurement official, because it has already been negotiated and they don't have to worry about price.
I do believe that one of the products has been possibly put on there. I got to confirm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you get on the GSA schedule, and look, I'm not a GSA schedule, expert, so, take this with a grain of salt. But it's my understanding that you're agreeing to never sell this product or service cheaper to anybody than the federal government.
Okay.
So go back to rule number 1: don't ever fucking lie to the federal government.
Right. Does that typically get negotiated by the manufacturer rather than a service provider? Right.
Typically.
Yeah.
It'll be part of that process. Now, here's the other caveat. If you're not selling said product or service, I think like over 3 months, you'll have to provide a report that we either met our minimums or didn't meet our minimums. And I think you get a warning, and then you got to get your sales up, and eventually you can be dropped off the GSA schedule if you're not meeting these minimums. Now, one of my favorite reasons to talk about this topic is that there are thousands of unscrupulous, quote, experts that will call you, email you, and suggest to you, hey, you want to make money with the federal government? You need to get on the GSA schedule. Okay? Do not engage with any of these guys, because all they are is cash grabs. They get you in the GSA schedule, and then yo-yo, which stands for
you fall off because you don't. Yeah.
You're on your own.
Yep. So, hey, let me ask you a question. If you're not specifically selling the product and all you're doing is using a different tool to provide the service, how does that look? Or how?
Are you asking me if the federal government gives a shit whether you use an electric mower or a gasoline-powered mower?
Or if I put a little station on the side of their building so that it can come and dock, just like a Roomba.
No, I understand the technology. I feign a dummy, but I'm actually quite familiar with what you got.
Oh there. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with your experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my question maybe is like, is this an approach that I can maybe don't even talk about the robot mowers? Because like you said, don't tell them how to
spend their money. Spend their
money. But as a deliverable, can we still possibly do that? Or are we going to run into some problems?
Well, I mean, not that anything is get rich quick with the federal government, but here's the thing. How does the federal government know that you're on the GSA schedule, or that you intend to use, install this, charging port, tie into their power, all that kind of stuff? Who's paying for that and all this? This is all marketing, okay? So the road would look something like getting SAM registered, getting the proper NAICS code for, property improvements or whatever the NAICS code is for lawn care. Okay. Then getting into DSBS, the Dynamic Small Business Service, or whatever that DSBS stands for. Contacting contracting officers or procurement officials that are already buying lawn care.
Okay.
And then marketing yourself to them as an alternative means and methods for accomplishing this task.
Okay.
To me, that just added 3 years of effort to my life for probably not much gain. And
I agree.
But maybe someday there's a big payoff. I mean, to me, I'd rather just see what the government's spending money on and then get in between that shit. As an example,
The least resistance, absolutely.
As an example, if they were looking for a lawn maintenance contract and it said in there, hey, we want to use the newfangled GPS gadget and we want you to connect this thing, I'd go find a guy like you who does that shit. And I'd turn my bid in for $100,000. I'd give you $50,000 because you think, holy shit, these guys are going to give me $50,000 to mow their lawns with a robot? Okay?
Yeah.
And then I'd move on with my life and go find another deal while you're out there happy as shit with your little $50,000 contract.
Okay. I understand. That's great. Yeah, definitely. Yep. It's just fascinating because I'm new to this world and trying to learn it, and I super appreciate your advice on it because I don't know the path forward here, and I'm probably focusing on the wrong things, like you're saying. Focus on give them what they want, subcontract out with, what you can't do, and don't focus so much on the end product and how they get there.
Exactly how it gets done, as long as it meets the requirements. Here, I'll just play a fun little game with you that I play this little game with newbies.
Okay.
So you're familiar with the concept of SAM registration because you went through the process. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer to the question before I ask you the question. You ready for the answer?
Okay. I am.
SAM registration. Ready to play?
Yes.
There's one thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is a
SAM registration.
So if you sell cake mix to the Navy so they can bake cakes on ships, what do you need?
SAM registration.
If you sell bullets or aircraft parts or even construction goods and services, what do you need?
SAM registration.
Okay, what state are you guys in? South Dakota?
I'm in Washington State.
Washington State.
I'm in South Dakota with Kevin right now. But
okay, so Washington State. All right, and if you and I walk through a neighborhood and I point up in the sky and say that's an electrical transformer, you know what that looks like?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Scenario number 1. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician in the state of Washington. Okay, in that scenario, it doesn't matter who got the job. The guy that got the job, all he needed was a SAM registration, right? But the guy replacing the transformer has to be a licensed electrician in the state of Washington. So you would have to find that guy.
Correct.
Scenario number 2. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. Well, now any licensed electrician from any state can go into Washington and replace that transformer. Understand, this is federal eminent domain property. There's no such thing as a state inspector going onto a federal job.
Okay.
But again, it has nothing to do with the guy that got the job. All he needed was a
licensed electrician.
Nope, SAM registration.
SAM registration. He failed. I failed.
Failed right there in scenario number 2. Okay. Yeah. Scenario number 3. The transformer shall be replaced. Now that literally means that you and I or Kevin or anybody else can go out there on a Saturday and replace the transformer. And it gets written all 3 ways all the time. You just have to read the requirements and comply with it. So that's how Kevin and I, well, I don't know about Kevin, but that's how I can look you in the face and tell you that my dad and I did over $1 billion worth of work for the federal government. I never had a license of any kind other than a driver's license.
Understood.
Kevin's way more qualified in this business than I am.
That's all I have. Well, actually, I got a business license for the Arapaho tribe.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're 100% more qualified than I am.
Well, he's in a hub zone too, so yeah, he's way more qualified than I am.
Well, so he probably makes more money.
Yep, he probably is. I just have an IT company and a robot lawnmower business.
Here, if you really want to bring this thing around full circle, go work for Kevin, and then after a couple of years, go leave and start your own shit and thank him for all the education you got.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's, well, it's interesting to see his life's journey because all of his job history. Oh, hold on. All of his job history has led him up with the experience to do the work that he's doing, and that's what I was telling him last night. I'm like, it's easy for people to look at you and say, "Hey, you're making a killing on federal contracting," but I said you're literally bringing to the table years and years and years of experience of road construction and pipe. Like, he understands the business.
But that's why I was saying, hold on. That's why I was saying in the beginning of this conversation about Lamar. Lamar wouldn't know a hammer from a pipe wrench. Okay? They're both used to beat things.
Yeah.
It's not even know people. Okay? His first job was a siding job on the outside of a National Park Service like residential type house. He bid the job for, let's say, $65,000, and the guy gave him a bid for $40,000, and he's like, he made $25,000. How long did it took 7 days to do the whole job? Okay, and he was hooked after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on another call. What were you talking about me for?
You were saying that you made $25,000 on this.
Not you, Lamar. I was talking about Lamar.
Yeah. Oh, Lamar. Yeah.
Yeah, his first shot. You don't have to know these things. You just have to know how to put the deal together.
Yeah.
And then you need to call and ask me intelligent questions like Kevin does. Kevin asks the best questions of probably anybody. Maybe there's one guy that asks better questions. But the problem I have with Kevin is Kevin calls me up and asks me the question or gives me a problem. And I give him, 3 scenarios on how to solve the problem. And then he runs off and I never hear what happened. It's like the biggest cliffhanger ever. And he's been doing it consistently for 10 years.
Well, he got what he needed from you.
But I always call you back, Sean.
Well, yeah, but I never hear when the callback is always, anyway.
Another question.
Yeah, another question.
He just killed a big job. Did he tell you about that?
I never hear about the wins. That's part of the biggest part. That's why everybody feels like federal government construction is a scam. Because they're like, well, tell me how successful your clients are. And I'm like, I have no fucking idea. They're out there just doing this. They're not calling me unless there's a problem. They don't call in, to flex, hey, I made $100,000 today. I don't get those phone calls.
To validate your point, it is important for Kevin to share that with you because
now I feel bad.
Yeah, you should feel bad. No, absolutely, because it's the fruits of your labor. You've been coaching, you've been doing all these things, and all of a sudden, hey, you want to hear about the wins. So he actually has recently won, is it 3 bids?
Well, there's still yet to be awarded. One of them.
So you were awarded the elevator job, though, right?
Yeah, I did a design build for Mount Rushmore for elevator replacement.
Okay.
So I got the design contract. So we got that. We're going to finish that up in a month. Then I'll get the contract to replace the elevators for like $1.3 million. And then I'm going to get a contract to repair the parking garage in Mount Rushmore for another $650,000. And I got a contract to replace the security gates at Mount Rushmore for another $120,000. So I'll have $2 million worth worth of work at Mount Rushmore. See,
yeah, you're embellishing. According to my records, that was 118,200.
Oh yeah, you got the right reference. 118,200.
I'm just showing. I'm teasing that. You don't think I pay attention to what you're doing?
Yeah, I know you do. You got it on your website.
Grand period. There you go.
But there, that link works. This thing's so full now, you can keep track of me.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I have to keep track of him because he never calls in and tells me how he's doing. So I like throwing these little comments in there like I'm Big Brother paying attention. I actually looked it up while we were. I actually looked you up while we were sitting here talking just so I could pull something like that out of my ass.
But yeah, so Paul's looking at USspending.gov, but I'm gonna have to go. And you can talk to Paul all you want, sell him your goods, sell him what you need.
Well, Paul, if you just go to my website and enter in your name and email address, you'll start getting the marketing material, and then whatever you want to do or not do is entirely up to you. I'm not a pressure guy in any sense of the word, and we put a lot of content out on YouTube. You can watch a lot of videos.
Awesome. I'll definitely do that. Just GCExperts.com, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, hey, nice to meet you, Sean, and thanks for the little advice you gave.
Taking the time.
Super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys have fun.
Picture links on your website.
Can you tell me specifically where you see a problem on the website?
On the very first page, I was going to show him this is the opportunity. It talks about your dad, your brother that got in an accident.
You're telling me that video doesn't work?
It's not working on my screen. I click the link and then it goes second on mine.
Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just hit play on that video. Sorry, I could make a fancy. And it's
okay.
It's playing no problem for me.
Okay. So it's me. I'm the problem.
Well, can you hit refresh or something and try to hit play on it?
Do not have my laptop. It's your computer.
It's my computer. Paul's got it. So I got to call Fahad.
Is it playing for him on his computer or phone?
Yes. Yeah, his links are. So something's messy with my computer. I'll get Paul, the IT guy, on it.
Clear the cache or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But great to talk to you, and I tell people that want to know about you, and hopefully they get hooked up with you. But because I'm just one guy doing a couple million a year, and there's $1 billion a day getting spent. So
yeah, it's well, and not only that, but right now is the spending season, man. I mean,
yeah, the next month and a half here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna really like that video, that opportunity video. It was so funny. And my kid was like, "Hey, you got to make a video for Facebook," and I went, "Facebook is for pictures of me eating tacos and where your mom's gonna meet her future boyfriend."
I love it.
And so we all laughed, and then the next week, it was like New Year's or something, and he goes, "No, seriously, you need to make a video." So I was just standing there in my office. You can't tell in the video if I'm wearing pajama pants. It's like New Year's morning or something. And he's like, "Seriously, just get up there and just start talking." And I was like, "Okay, here we go."
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll check it out. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think Kev's got to go, right? You got a jet?
Soon.
Oh, good. Soon. Cool. Where are you based out of, Sean? Are you in Colorado or something?
No, just outside of Austin.
Oh, okay. Is it hot down there?
Every damn day.
I bet.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I even had to put an air conditioner on my pool.
That's awesome. You had to cool the water down, huh?
Yeah.
I bet you knew somebody that could do that for you.
it really wasn't that hard. They make condensing units like for your home, like your air conditioning system. They make them now for
Yeah.
pools. It's pretty inexpensive to run, like $2 a day or something. It's
Oh wow.
yeah.
I've never heard of somebody cooling off their pools. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I live up in Washington, so the heat's not as intense. But
yeah. Well, the opposite. They make heater chillers. It's basically a reversing valve, condensing units. You can heat a pool up there pretty cheaply with this same tech.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Very good. Makes sense. It's just like a air source heat pump, just reverses and.
Yep, same thing.
Sort of heat.
Yeah, they make heat pumps for pools now.
Okay. Very cool.
Well, I love the idea of, robots mowing the lawn and that kind of stuff. And I've seen all the videos for years. The different guy, I think, I can't remember the last one that I saw, but the first ones I didn't like because you had to bury a line in the yard.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Check out my website. It's smartyardnw.com.
Okay.
Yeah, smartyardnw.com.
Yeah, the new ones all have GPS, and that's way better.
Yeah, they are. We kind of focus on, we got Husqvarna, but we really focus on Crest and Segway as our primary brands that we work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great product.
No, I'm all about it. I think that's awesome. I don't know, the government's properties are pretty large, and you'd have to do it in multiple tranches.
We can handle 7 acres with one mower, and can team mow. So,
wow.
That part's not an issue. But as soon as I see your name come through on the order, I'll cut you a deal on the mower. I
have been trying to get my wife to agree to a mower like that, a robot mower, for probably 6 years. And, I just lucked out in the whole world with a girl that I picked, or maybe she picked me. But I'll just tell you this, that I have not had to do any yard work at all for many, many, many years. And how I figured it out was I just go buy a new piece of yard tool and just lay it in the yard. Like, just have it all set up and just lay it in the yard. And then she'll walk by it and, what is that? She'll pick it up. She'll start. I have 200 pieces of lawn equipment that I just keep dropping around the house every once in a while.
So you just got to put like a couple pallets of retaining block. Things like that.
No, it's unbelievable. She loves it, and she really enjoys doing it. And if you look at Google Maps where I live, our house is like an oasis compared to every other house on the block. I mean,
she puts in the work. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Even like right before it starts to rain, she jumps on the riding lawnmower and goes out there and cuts it's immaculate all the time. Amazing.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of robot, mowers.
They're cool. Yeah, they're fun. All right, brother. Well, thanks for the conversation. It was awesome.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Sean. I'll fix my computer.
All right, good luck.
Talk to you later.
You bet. Bye.